Hi, folks. Welcome to LA25A. Great to have you with us for the second season of the greatest high school football show in the country. And I can say that because we play the best high school football in the country. We've got the best players, the greatest coaches, and, of course, the greatest fans. And District 2 of 5A football, right here in Northeast Louisiana, represents the kingpin of districts throughout the state. As a matter of fact, 9 out of the last 11 years, a team from District 2 has won the state championship in 5A football. And guess what? The other 2 years, they played for the state championship. This year's going to be no different. There's going to be a barn burner every week, so make your plans to get out and see one of the great teams in District 2 for 5A. But don't go away now. Get the popcorn, because we're going to be right back with LA25A. This year, thanks to Hibernia Bank, we're going to have a special feature on LA25A called Most Valuable Player of the Week. Now, you fans will actually vote on the players. All you do is simply stop by any Hibernia Bank branch, pick up the ballot form, mark in your favorite player's name, and drop it in the mailbox. We'll gather the ballots, count the votes, and on each Thursday night show, we'll announce the most valuable player in LA25A. Thanks, Hibernia.
I need quick service.
I don't have time to wait.
Answer my questions right away.
I want to get in and out fast.
At Hibernia, we're doing a lot to make your banking easier and more convenient, like adding tellers at busy times so that you can bank faster, getting information to you more quickly, and staying open more hours. At Hibernia, we know it matters to you, and we're making it happen right here every day.
Sure enough.
NLU's Division of Continuing Education offers courses year-round for your personal and professional development. We even bring selected courses to your workplace. Here at the Inland Fisher Guide Division of General Motors Monroe plant, NLU professors provide specific training courses for employees. This training often makes the difference in promotions and personal advancement. Northeast Louisiana University's Division of Continuing Education and you, partners for progress.
I love working at the Louisiana Mill. I like working with the people there. I've received a lot of training there. I think they're committed to helping me grow, and I've learned a lot since I've been in the national paper. The Louisiana Mill is very committed to the environment. We've spent over $100 million in the last 2 years on improving our environmental system. The people at the mill are just a family to me, and I feel really good about being there. I hope to be there a long time.
VAR Studios. North Louisiana's largest and most powerful production house is now open and ready to handle your video and audio needs. Industrial and corporate videos, feature-length programs, commercials, music videos, jingles and voiceovers, in-field and in-studio productions, all under one roof. VAR Studios. It's everything you can imagine.
Well, this is the Ruston Bearcat portion of LA25A, and we have head coach Billy Gillum from Ruston High School here with us. Welcome to the show again this year, Coach Gillum.
It's good to be back, Johnny. I think it's been the longest summer ever waiting on this season.
Well, I know it's a long summer waiting, but now that the summer's over, would you like to have just maybe 5 or 6 more days to get ready?
I don't think we can stand it much longer. I think we need some relief one way or the other. We're ready to roll.
Well, you lost some real good kids off last year's team. Tell us about a few of the kids that are replacing them this year.
Well, you know, we lost the outstanding receiver, Stephen Hampton, and we worked all spring and summer trying to find a replacement, and I think it's probably going to take about 4 guys to do that.
Well, he was a great one.
He was. We've got a couple of split ends. Marcus Roan that's been working real well in that position, and David Smith, and I believe we're going to have to spread the ball around a little bit more and try to get it to a couple of wingbacks, too, and Derek Moreland and Trotter Hunt. So far, we've been able to spread our receptions out in our scrimmage and jamboree, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Well, you're going to have to do some work because you don't have just what you call a walk-through schedule. You open up tomorrow night against Greenville, Mississippi at home.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Greenville.
Well, I wish I knew a lot more about Greenville. They've have a new head coach up there. Of course, played them last year for the first time. We were very little. Now we even know less. We weren't able to see them play their first game last week, so we're going into a pretty much unknown situation. But they do have good talent. We just don't really know what to get ready for.
Well, you follow them up away. Of course, you're home tomorrow night. And then El Dorado, that's always a rivalry game.
El Dorado and Ruston have turned into a pretty good matchup through the years, and we're going up there, and I know they're going to be after us because we've been able to get over on them the last couple of times.
Then you get back into Louisiana, get Byrd at home, and then you got West Ouachita.
Well, you know, Johnny, last year we played Byrd the third game, and they beat us. And we were fortunate enough to get them in the first round of the playoffs, and we beat them.
That's right.
So we've been to their place twice now and looking forward to getting them at home. West Ouachita, we're glad to have on the schedule a good, close game. I think can develop into a rivalry-type thing. And
it should be a great game for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Because, as you say, it's close and everybody can get there. And that one is played at West Ouachita. After that, you got a Texas team coming in, Longview. And then you got to go over to see those Ouachita Lions. Then another district game against Bastrop, a non-district game against Crowley. Then you finish up with two tough ones, Neville, and then West Monroe. And Coach Gillum has brought along a couple of big Bearcats. Introduce these fellas.
Johnny, we've got a couple of special guys here tonight. Kenny Wright, number 44, and Joe Dan Martin, number 65, a couple of senior football players. And Johnny, they've been doing this since the 10th grade. They've started 24 ball games for us. They started their sophomore year and played 12 and 12 last year, and so it's this kind of leadership that we're dependent on this year.
Well, Kenny, let me start with you. You're senior cornerback this year, and has that been the same position for you for the past 2 years going into this senior season?
Yes, sir.
You got Greenville coming up, and as Coach said earlier, they've got a new head coach. But what do you expect from Greenville based on the preparation that you've had so far?
Well, I believe they have good team speed, so they're going to try to come out and run wide and pass deep.
And your job on that corner is to shut down that wide stuff, that's for sure, isn't it? Joe Dan, over on your side, you're on the other side of the ball on offense, and as a senior offensive guard, let me ask you a question, because offensive players, particularly on the inside, sometimes you have a fella playing next door at tackle that gets a little confused maybe on his assignment. Does that ever happen and you have to help a guy out?
Oh, yeah, John, that happens a lot. I just tell him what the play is, go over it, tell him if it's tackle on tackle block, and if it's next, I try to calm him down a little bit.
One thing about being a senior, as Coach has always said, he relies a lot on senior leadership. Now that you're in that role, in fact, both of you are in that role, does it feel a little different to you?
Yeah, you feel like a leader, and you got all these other guys that look up to you and really scared, and you can show them the right way to go.
Kenny, do you remember what it was like whenever, as Joe Dan was saying, when you were a sophomore, how you were not afraid, but nervous?
Yes, sir.
Well, how do you try to settle the younger guys down?
Well, I just tell them to calm down and play ball. So that was the older guy used to tell me.
And it worked for you?
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, this Greenville bunch, they better be ready when they come into Ruston tomorrow night, because these guys look like they've got their game face on right now.
You're right, Johnny. I tell you, I think they're both anticipating the game and seeing if we can just play 48 minutes like we played the last 20 last week.
Well, you said 24 starts apiece. That's 48 between them. That's more than some guys have in a high school and a college career.
Well, I think it's just an example of young people trying to get as much out of sports and have as much fun during the most enjoyable years of their life.
Kenny, let me ask you a question about weight training. How important has that been to you in your high school career?
It's been very important. When you lift weights, you really train yourself for the season. So if you lift weights hard, you probably have a good season.
Well, for example, how much have you gained since your sophomore year, if you recall that, to now?
Around 30 pounds.
Wow. Well, I gained that from last week. It wasn't from lifting weights. How about you, Joe Dan?
I've gained about 10 pounds. When I came in, I was kind of fat, to tell you the truth. But I've slimmed up.
So you moved some around, and then you gained about 10 more pounds of muscle.
Yes.
Coach, give us your comment about weight training in the off-season as well as during the season.
I think it's a very vital, important part of anybody's training. You know, your overall strength is going to add to your overall quickness, your mobility, even flexibility. Kenny is a 49-foot triple jumper in leg strength. Even though he's gained weight, it's been muscle mass, and it's really helped him along. And whether it's somebody like Joe Dan that comes in a little plump and redistributes it and firms up, it just adds to your performance. But you've got to also think of the mental aspect of it, too. As they grow and mature and look at it more as a mental-type game, then their physical attributes really come out and help them.
Kenny, do you feel like your participation in track has been a big asset to you?
Yes, sir. It's helped me get in shape and build my muscles up.
49 feet and triple jump?
Yes, sir.
Heck, I get in the car to go that far. Well, look, fellas, we want to wish you the very best of luck tomorrow night against Greenville. We want to tell everybody over in Ruston and all the supporters of the Bearcats to get out. What time's kickoff?
7:30.
7:30 tomorrow night. Get out there and see these Bearcats go to work on those fellas from Mississippi. And don't go away, because we'll be right back.
See this? Nope, it's not a credit card. It's a checkbook. Doesn't look like one, but it works just like a check. Only this Contact 2000 card is much easier. You can make purchases directly from your checking account anywhere Visa is accepted without writing a check. No IDs, no questions, no hassle. Just sign your name. The Central Bank Contact 2000 card. It works like a check, only easier.
So you can't afford a four-wheeler again this year. Well, how about $129 a month? $89 a month? $69 a month? You're probably thinking you only get four wheels for $69 a month. Well, at McKinney's in Ruston, we're offering the whole four-wheeler. This Kawasaki 220 Bayou with all the features you're looking for. Electric start, reverse, shaft drive, front and rear racks, all for just $69 a month. It's a great deal that you'll find only at McKinney's in Ruston.
The best window for fading protection. Blocks over 99% of the sun's UV rays without blocking natural light. See what you can do with Hurd windows. Ask your builder or architect when you're serious about windows. The quietest window blocks over 95% of outside noise. See what you can do with Hurd Insulate windows.
Builder Supply Do-It Center in Ruston, your exclusive Hurd dealer in North Louisiana.
Well, folks, we're here now with the West Monroe Rebels head man, and representing the reigning 5A state champions, the West Monroe Rebels, is Coach Don Childs. Welcome, Coach Childs.
Thank you, Johnny. Glad to be here.
Have a good summer?
Well, I had a short one, to say the least. You know, teaching driver's ed and having a summer program and working on the field. It goes by pretty quick.
Getting ready for tomorrow night with a tough game against Woodlawn.
Well, I hope we've prepared well all week long because Woodlawn has a real good football team. They got probably two of the most outstanding receivers in the state, and they got a lot of kids that played, especially late in the year for them last year, coming back, and really look forward to being an outstanding football game.
Well, Coach, I know that you've made the banquet trail after winning the state championship last year. How much pressure does this put on the kids for this year?
Well, actually, you know, I hope it doesn't put any pressure on them. This is a new group of kids, and, you know, I told them they got to find their own destiny and their own identity, and, you know, just hopefully that we'll continue to play hard and not beat ourselves. And those are the type of things that we try to coach into our kids and try to instill in them that, hey, we're going to go out there and play hard, and if we get beat, we're going to hold our heads up high, and if we win, great. But, you know, we just want to play hard.
Coach, is it your experience that every year, every team has its own personality?
Well, it does to a degree. I think there are several characteristics that you got to, you know, you have to learn as a football team. You got to learn how to win. I think that's one of the most important ones, and then learn how to play to win. And then it goes back to, again, you start getting the tradition where you know, like for years and years, you take Ouachita and Neville and Ruston, when they walk out on the field, you know, they expect to win. So therefore, they play at a little different level compared to ones that walk on the field and don't know if they can win. So, you know.
Well, you know, Rebels went 13-2 last year in winning the state championship, but you got a schedule this year that's, as everybody in the district, it's not a cakewalk. You got Woodlawn tomorrow night, follow that up with Captain Shreve. They've got to be good.
Well, you know, Captain Shreve, I'm sure, is a much improved team over last year. I'm not sure. I don't think they won but one game last year. But, you know, you go down our schedule, Carroll, which is a third ball game, is I saw them the other night against Wasserman. They look real strong defensively, and they've got the talent on offense, and they'll come around. And, of course,
you drop down a notch to Haynesville, no, but you don't drop down far, do you?
Let me tell you, when Haynesville comes in here, I've said this to a lot of people, Haynesville would have beat just about everybody we played last year, except maybe for 2 or 3 teams in our district. But other than that, they would definitely beat all the other teams we played.
And you got a South Louisiana team softer before getting into the schedule against Neville. You got Neville at home.
Well, you know, actually, the Neville game is going to be played at the doubleheader over at NLU, which we're playing Neville at 6:15 and Ouachita and Ruston to play. And that night kicks off our district. So, you know, that's going to be a heck of a night for football here in Northeast Louisiana.
That's going to be great. Running down the list, you follow that up with Ouachita, Bastrop, Green Oaks, and wind it up with Ruston. Coach, you brought along a couple of players who know what it's like to go down to the Dome and win it all. How about introducing these Rebels?
Well, Johnny, on my left right here, number 38, D. Jefferson, starter from last year on defense, started for us at corner last year and is also playing some free safety for us this year. And then on his left is Robbie Kuntz, who is our starting offensive tackle, played some last year for us, is also our punter. And these are 2 seniors, and they're both good, solid students and citizens, and we're real proud of these 2 young men at West Monroe.
Well, we're glad to have you both here, and as I said, and I congratulate you on the state championship from last year, and I know that you've worked hard this summer, and your goal is to make it back down to the Dome, and we wish you all the best. Dee, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this summer in preparation for the season.
Well, basically, we start off with a weight program every summer, and we run, come up there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, try to get a little stronger and faster for this season coming up.
Well, you look like you put on just a pound or 2 since last year. Is that true?
Yes.
About how many?
About 5 or 6 pounds.
All muscle.
Pretty much.
You need it out there on that defensive position, don't you?
Yes.
Well, let me switch over to Rob now. That's about the same story for you this summer?
Yes, sir.
With the addition, I imagine you kick that ball a little bit.
A little bit here and there.
About how many times a week do you guess that you actually practice kicking?
I probably kick about 60 balls a week, something like that, about three days a week.
Do you work with a deep snapper when you can in the summertime? Do you have somebody that can get the ball back to you?
Every now and then with Clay Locklear, he's a deep snapper.
And that does help out a little bit, doesn't it? Well, Dee, talk to me a little bit about this Woodlawn game coming up tomorrow night. What do you expect from Woodlawn? You're going to be out there on defense.
We're planning to see a lot of one-back set, a lot more passes than we did in the Jamboree against West Ouachita. We're planning to see more running out of the one-back set or for one zone.
Well, and it's a home game. Kickoff time's at 7:30, and we expect a real good crowd. That y'all had great support last year. And, Rob, you're on the other side of the ball on offense. What are you looking for out of Woodlawn defensively?
Well, they got 3 real good linebackers, and we're just going to have to play hard, execute our blocks, and backs going to have to run hard in the game. I think we'll be all right if we do the same.
Well, Coach, from your perspective, you got this team coming in, opening up the season in front of the home crowd, and, you guys are the reigning state champs and all. You expect a big crowd tomorrow night?
Johnny, we probably have had the largest season ticket sale in the history of the school, and we're selling a lot of tickets right now at the office, and I really look for us to really fill our side of the stands and the end zone bleachers. And, of course, Woodlawn won't bring very many people over here with us, but I hope we have an overflow crowd and then our people fill up both sides. But I'm looking for it to be a great, it's going to be cool Friday night, and it will be a great atmosphere, and there'll be some good high school football played around here Friday night.
There's always some of the best when you go up against a 2A District 2 team. Let me ask you fellows, because early in the season, I like to ask this question, particularly of seniors, because you take on a different role as a senior. Coach has always said he relies on the senior leadership in a team. Dee, how do you feel about that role now that you are a senior on the team?
I feel that I have to step up and do my part as a senior because of the young guys looking up to me as being a role model.
Coach, I don't think anybody can say that any better.
I will tell you, if they all play and practice as hard as Dee did, we wouldn't have any problems at West Monroe, I promise you.
Rob, I know that kids are nervous. How do you make the younger guys feel a little less nervous?
We just try to tell them, play as hard as you can, do what you can in the game, and if you mess up, just keep going hard.
There you go. Well, look, fellas, we wish you the very best tomorrow night against Woodlawn. Tell everybody to get out there early to get you a good seat. Kickoff time's at 7:30, but don't leave right now because we'll be right back.
Whether it's a friendly game of touch football or the rock'em sock'em of the real thing, when the game is over and you want to look your best, head first to Hadad's. Because Hadad's carries men's clothes that are fit to wear in style. Tommy Hilfiger, Polo by Ralph Lauren, Colors by Alexander Julian, and Nautica. Clothes that look as good as they feel. So remember, after this or this, head for this. Hadad's, 1819 Avenue of America in Monroe.
So what is everyday excellence? For Mary Roundtree, it's getting up every morning at dawn to reach for a dream. For Mary Cobb, it's a race against an unrelenting competitor, herself. For Greg Duplantis, it's one last leap for the sky before the light is gone. That's everyday excellence for these extraordinary Louisiana athletes. Premier Bank salutes their quest for excellence every day. We've made it our quest as well.
All right, fans, here they come. Johnny's fantastic season special. Johnny's new buffalo wings, tender, juicy, delicious, and spicy Cajun or zesty barbecue, and at game-winning prices. And Johnny's hot, fresh breadsticks, only $1.50. What a catch! Plus Johnny's 14-inch party pizza at $5.99, always a game winner. So make Johnny's part of your game plan every time.
Get it now with Johnny's.
Well, the Neville Tigers are ready to tee it up for the 94 season, and here to tell us about it is head football coach over at Neville, Coach Joe Coates. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you, Johnny. Glad to be here.
Always good to have you represent the Neville Tigers. I know the Tigers have been working hard because I go by and see you all on the practice field.
We worked harder this preseason than we worked since I've been there.
Well, I know that's pretty hard because the reputation has been hard work at Neville for a long, long time.
We're a little short-handed, and our players, we don't have much depth, and we realized to play full quarters, we're going to have to be in better condition than the people we're playing.
Well, that's been kind of the reputation of Neville as one of the smaller schools in terms of enrollment in 5A football. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of students, so, the number of students is limited, so the number of athletes is usually limited, but the guys are working hard, and we're pleased.
Well, Neville's got a great tradition in football and has the longest streak of making the state playoffs with 16, if I'm correct. 16
that's right.
Straight years.
We're going for a 17th straight playoff appearance, and that's a pretty lofty goal, but I believe it's achievable.
Well, Coach, you mentioned something to me earlier about last year's team and the season and the fact that y'all did make the state playoffs, even though there were teams with better records. Y'all were considered to have one of the toughest schedules in the state, and that was the consideration that you think got you the wild card berth.
Well, actually, it's not a consideration. It's a predetermined. It's a predetermined formula. It's based on strength of your schedule, and we play some. Everyone we played last year except Bastrop made the playoffs, and that's our schedule this year. And Bastrop beat us, and probably would have been the next team. We were the 32nd team to get in, and they probably would have been the 33rd if they had allowed another team in 5A.
Well, let's talk about that schedule a little bit. The Tigers open up tomorrow night at Tiger Stadium. They're at home against Moss Point, Mississippi.
They big and they bad, Johnny. We got a film on them. They got beat. Not only are they big and bad, now they're mad.
They're mad, big, bad, and mad.
They got a great program over there. That whole Gold Coast League over there is strong. It's big schools, and you can play when you're 19 in Mississippi, and so, it looks like a junior college team. But
we're going to try to deceive them and stay in the game. We stayed in the game with them last year for 3 quarters, and then the roof caved in down there. Hopefully the 5-hour ride up here will work against them like it did us.
Work the magic on them. Well, then you follow up Southwood, Opelousas, and Wasserman on the road. And as you said, this is not a cakewalk, because then you got the last 5 games. 3 of them are at home, but it's Carroll, West Monroe, Ouachita, Ruston, and Bastrop.
We have a good schedule. It's very competitive. Southwood, beat us in the first playoff game last year. Opelousas is a really explosive offensive team. It'll be tough to beat them down there. Of course, we're going to play Wasserman out at Northeast.
It's part of a doubleheader.
Carroll's going to play Ouachita the same night.
That'd be a great night, folks.
We'll be the first game, Wasserman and Neville, and then Carroll's our homecoming game. And then we'll be in another doubleheader with us and West Monroe and Ouachita and Ruston. We'll also be the first game in that. Then we have Ouachita and Ruston at home, and then we'll go to Bastrop on a Thursday night to close out the regular season.
And Coach, you brought a couple of senior Tigers along. We'd sure like to meet these Tigers.
Well, we're going to depend on these guys. First is John White. He's our kicker. He just got back from the Soccer World Cup, and we're trying to get him back into the football deal.
Well, John, obviously you had a lot of practice in kicking around, huh? But it's that round ball.
Yes, I play for a soccer team in Shreveport, but I've been to a couple of camps this summer, kicking camps, football kicking camps, and I learned a bunch there and been in the weight room, and that's about it, all I've done this summer.
Working on that kicking game. But now, it's not as simple as you make it sound, because you do kickoff, extra points, field goals, and the punting.
Yes, sir. You got 2 different styles of kicking. Kickoff and extra point, because the tee's a little bit higher, but you just got to adjust in doing both of them.
Well, I like the way you make that sound so simple. Introduce our other senior here, Coach.
Our other senior is Damon Dyer. He's returning starting quarterback, and he does the holding for John on field goals and extra points. And Damien's had a good fall practice, and we're expecting him to be one of our team leaders.
Well, Damien, as a senior, last go-around for you as a Neville Tiger, and I know a lot of people recognize the Dyer name and the association with athletics around here. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts. Now you're a senior. You're one of the big guys on the team, and the coach expects a certain amount of leadership from you. Tell us a little bit about how you accept that role and what it means to you.
Well, being a senior, of course, everyone expects you to, be a leader and whatnot. But I think with a team like ours, we're playing with juniors and a few sophomores, everyone pretty much gets everyone else up and, helps us to win.
But there's always, I know, John, you can answer this. When you were a sophomore and junior,
yes,
there's a little bit different feeling, isn't there, when it's your last year?
Yeah, so you get real nervous before a big game. Back when I was a sophomore, I used to get real nervous. And but now, you got to act all cool and stuff before a game, because
you still be nervous, but you got to act cool.
Yeah, to make sure none of the other underclassmen get nervous too. So.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this game tomorrow night with Moss Point. Y'all traveled down there last year, and now they've got to make the trip up here. Kickoff times at 7:30. We know there'll be a big crowd over at Neville Stadium. Damien, tell us what you expect from their defense.
Well, just big front four. They're all big, the whole defense, and they're fast, and we're waiting for them to be coming up the line of scrimmage. Just see if we can put something on them.
John, you heard what he said about those big guys.
Yes.
When you're back there to kick, does it ever enter your mind that those big horses are coming?
No, sir. You're supposed to just put the big guys out of your mind and focus on the ball and just kick it to the upright.
You make everything sound so simple. Now, you are cool. Well, guys, we wish you the best of luck. Coach said that those guys were big, they were bad, and they got beat last week, and they're mad.
Yes.
Well, we're going to work through that. We wish you the very best, and we want to let everybody know to be out there for that 7:30 kickoff. Right now, we want to go to a brand new sponsor that we appreciate on LA25A. It's going to be a special feature every week from Glenwood Sports Care. They're going to talk about prevention of athletic injury and the treatment of athletic injury. We think you're going to like it.
The human body has many demands: to remain healthy, to stay active, to meet the challenges of our daily lives at work and at play. We're here to help you answer those demands. The sports care program at Glenwood Regional Medical Center is designed to meet the comprehensive health care needs of the physically active within our community. Hi, I'm Brad Thomas, your Glenwood Sports Care representative. Welcome to the Healthy Athlete. For the next 10 weeks, Glenwood Sports Care will be bringing you a variety of health care topics ranging from knee and ankle injuries to proper nutrition. Tonight, we'd like to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about sports care. Sports care is a liaison between the area's athletes, Glenwood's comprehensive services, and affiliated physicians. Sports care services include a 24-hour emergency and information hotline, specialized physician referrals and appointment assistance, a single point of entry to access any Glenwood service, development, management, and sponsorship of educational programs, athletic events, and preventive medicine seminars, on-site medical coverage for athletic events, and a regional network throughout Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Regardless of your sport, your age, or your activity, sports care ensures you the best possible health care. We look forward to bringing you these programs. For more information about any of these topics or the sports care program, call us at 329-8800.
Are you still drinking the old thing? Try the next thing, Powerade. With 33% more carbos than Gatorade and a taste you can really slam. Powerade, the next thing.
You know, they made desks this big, our doorway's so small. Okay, let's dip it a bit. All right, easy, easy. Okay, watch your fingers.
So now we set it up.
These instructions are in Japanese.
We'll figure it out. Oh.
Boy, we're saving money now, aren't we?
Shut up.
Monroe Welding Supply is Northeast Louisiana and Southeast Arkansas's full-service welder supply company. Here you can find full lines of both Miller and Lincoln equipment. Monroe Welding Supply is also this area's industrial compressed gas distributor, including oxygen, argon, acetylene, nitrogen, and CO2. We also refurbish and test all cylinders from fire extinguishers to diving tanks using hydrostatic testing. And we have a full line of rental equipment. Monroe Welding Supply, 410 North 18th, Monroe.
Well, for all you folks up around Bastrop, it's your turn, because we've got the Bastrop Rams head man here, Coach Rick Hudson, head coach of the Bastrop football team. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
We were just talking about summer, and Coach said he's been real busy getting ready for this season.
We've really done a lot of work this summer. The coaching staff got together and did a lot of renovations around the stadium, tried to make things a little nicer for our players, and I don't think I was quite as rested this year when the season started.
Well, you know, you mentioned that. The way you guys performed last year, you had probably the best season as far as fan turnout that you've had in many years.
We really did have good support last year, especially towards the end of the season when we were playing well. And, you know, hopefully that'll be something that carries over into this year.
Well, you know, it's been a while since Bastrop went 5-5 and won a district game. And, you know, let's see, you were in overtime with Ruston.
And we were in a shootout with Monroe.
You were in a shootout, so you were in every game.
And we really were, and you know, that was the goal last year, was to be competitive and to try to get that first district win. Hopefully we could have gotten it early in the season, but we got over that first hurdle, and unfortunately it was just a little too late.
Well, Coach, you lost some key players, but you got some good guys coming up.
Well, we did lose a good group of seniors. Several of them had played for us for 3 years. But the thing that they did, I think, especially their senior years, they showed great leadership, and they showed the younger kids what it took to be competitive. And I think it really had a lasting effect, especially with this year's group of seniors.
Well, you open up tomorrow night away with Destrehan. A tough opener, Coach.
It really is. I guess
on the road, long way.
It's a long trip, and you're going down there. The people down in South Louisiana really support their high school programs,
yes, they do.
And so we'll be in front of a very, I guess you could call it a hostile crowd. You know, it's a good experience for our kids. It's a chance for them to see other parts of the state and to play another quality football team.
Well, you follow up then. You're on the road 3 weeks in a row. You follow up Destrehan with Huntington, and then behind them, Woodlawn over in Shreveport. Then you catch a home game against Faraday. Now, some people might think that's a step down in class, but Faraday plays it tough every year.
Well, they were 8-2 last year, and you know, Coach Bailey down at Faraday does a great job with the passing game, and they really test our secondary every year.
And it's close enough. That should be a good crowd too.
It really helps us. A lot of the kids know each other.
We got you follow that up at home with Rayville, and then kind of get into the meat of things with Carroll, and then you got 4 straight district games to wind up the season. Ruston, West Monroe, and then Ouachita and Neville back at your place.
It's, I mean, when you look at those last 5 games, all those teams are ranked in the top 10 in their classes. Carroll's a 4A school, but, you know, they play all the teams in our district just about.
Right.
So, really, we look at the last 5 ball games just like we would an entire district schedule.
Well, Coach, I'll have to tell you, I think, and I've heard a lot of people say this, Bastrop played as an exciting brand of football last year as you'd ever hope to see in high school football.
It was really a lot of fun if you followed us last year, just going from week to week. Whether we scored a lot or just played a 7-6 ball game like against Neville, seems like all of them were nail-biters.
Well, I tell you, it was there were 4 teams out of the district in the playoffs, and for my money, there should have been 5 because you guys had to be able to beat a lot of 5A teams around the state.
Well, you know, we said it all along. We felt like if we'd have gotten in the playoffs last year, we could have been a contender.
Yeah.
And might not have gotten knocked out until we played somebody from our own district.
Coach, you brought along a couple of those senior Rams, and we'd sure like to meet them.
All right, to my immediate left is number 46, Daniel Watt. He's a senior strong safety for us, and Daniel also serves as our snapper on our field goal team. Next to him is number 84, Tyrone Morgan. He's also a senior. He's a returning starter for us at defensive end, and we'll also use Tyrone in the backfield on short yardage situations.
Ah, well, let's talk to Tyrone then and find out which position you prefer. You like carrying the mail or playing out on that defensive end?
Well, I like both of them.
I knew I wasn't going to trap you.
Well, because I like to play physical and like, you know, to run the ball because this year I want a touchdown.
Well, maybe you'll get into position to do that tomorrow night. Let's switch over here to Daniel Watt. Daniel's strong safety, but you pull double duty, as Coach said, as a deep snapper.
Yes, sir.
On extra point.
Extra point.
And field goal.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of an unusual combination, I think, strong safety. How in the world did you get into this deep snapper position?
Well, it was like one day at practice, I just started practicing snapping for the fun of it, and Coach Hudson noticed it, and he put me in there on the line, and my snaps were okay. I guess that's why I'm in there.
Well, it's kind of a different program from being a strong back there at a safety position and then having to put your head down and letting those big guys tee off on you.
I'm the smallest guy on the line.
Well, I can tell you from the coach's comments, you're one of the most important on the line when it comes time to get that ball back there, because if that doesn't happen, nothing else happens.
Yes, sir.
Tyrone, let me ask you a question that I like to ask of seniors, particularly at the beginning of the season. How do you feel about your role as a senior now as compared to when you were sophomore and junior?
Well, I feel that I have the leadership now. They're looking up to them. I have little younger guys to look up to me now.
Tell me what you do to make it. If you know how it used to feel, and when you see a guy and he's nervous and uptight, what do you say to him, or what do you do?
Pep it up, play harder and aggressive, and just keep your mind on the game.
Well, I guess that's about all you can do. What about you, Daniel? You're a senior, and do you remember what it was like? Do you remember how nervous you were?
Yes, sir. Sometimes I'd be sitting there nervous, and the seniors, they start getting hyped up, and they start clapping and cheering, and I'd get into it.
Get you into it.
And my nervousness just go away.
Well, let's talk about tomorrow night's game with Destrehan. Long way down there. Tyrone, out on defense, what are you looking for out of that defensive end?
They mostly run a wing tee. The only thing I'm looking just to play my keys and be physical.
Now, that usually get the job done. What about at strong safety? A little bit different responsibilities.
Yes, sir. They run I have to watch for that wing tee, and I have to read my keys. If I miss my keys and he gets outside, it's almost an automatic touchdown if our cornerbacks don't get in there and get him.
Well, as strong safety, do you call a lot of the defense? As far as the coverages and all?
No, sir. No? They send them in, and our linebackers call the huddle and call the defense.
Well, look, we want to wish you guys all the best. Have a safe trip down to Destrehan. I hope some folks are able to go down there with you. Hope you continued success through the season. All you folks, try to get down to Destrehan to support the Bastrop Rams. And stay with us, because we'll be right back with some more of LA25A. Time now for Citgo U-Package Players of the Week. On offense, Jermaine Brown, Ouachita Lions, running back and return specialist. Jerome King, West Monroe Rebel, defensive end. Be sure to watch every week on LA25A for Citgo U-Package Players of the Week.
Now there's a petroleum card unlike any other that gets what you need at more than 13,000 locations. It's the Citgo Plus card, and you can use it anywhere you see the Citgo sign. And because it's the industry's fastest growing card, it can unlock the power of America's fastest growing oil company. It takes one little card to get this kind of convenience. It's the Citgo Plus card, the petroleum card.
Why choose when you really don't have to? At Lovett's Buffet, you don't have to decide. Pick from over 34 items every day. There's always plenty of entrees, vegetables, salads, pastas, and desserts. And it's all included at one low price. And kids eat for only 99 cents every Monday and Wednesday. When it gets harder to find real value, Lovett's Buffet is easy to find on Louisville Avenue, formerly the Carousel Cafeteria. Lovett's Buffet. You're going to love it.
Any faucet can turn on water. Kohler faucets give it shape. Change the flow. Once you turn on a Kohler faucet, you'll never want plain water again. See the bold look of Kohler at this Kohler showroom.
Well, we're visiting now with head coach Mike Valerie from the Ouachita Lions. Welcome to the show, Coach Valerie.
Nice to be here, Johnny.
Been a long, hot summer?
Yes, sir. It's been a long one, and it's been a little hot, but we're glad to get football season kicked off.
Well, I know you football coaches are always ready, but you would always like to have a little more time.
Don't seem like there's ever enough time, especially this year. You know, it seems like it's on us, and that's what we came to school this morning. I said, yes, I can't hardly believe that this is just now fixing to be the 1st of September, you know, and I said I'd like to have a little more time to get ready.
That's the same story all head football coaches say, folks, all over the country. Well, talk to us a little bit about some of the players that you've lost and who you're going to replace them with this year.
Well, off last year's football team, we had quite a few seniors and a lot of starters that were seniors last year, and mainly on our offensive line. We were seniors completely across the line last year, and this year we come in, we've got a kid, Chris Gaddis, that's a sophomore that's starting at a tight end for us. At a tackle, we have the only senior on our offensive line, Larry Foster, played some center for us last year, and we've moved him to a tackle this year. At the other tackle, we've got a sophomore lined up there, and Richard Nelson. And at our guards, we've got 2 juniors lined up there. You know that we are young right there. We've got a junior, senior. Our guards, you know, we feel like they've got a little size with them. We've got the Linder kid lined up at the guard, Calvin Linder. At the other guard, we have a junior there, excuse me, and DeAndre Evans, who's coming along doing a good job for us. If we've got any experience back, it's in our backfield. We've got our 2 running backs back from last year. Jermaine Brown's back at tailback, and we have Jamie Spencer back at fullback, and then we've got a senior quarterback that was our backup last year in Jason Carter. On the defensive side of the ball, we feel like we've got a few experienced kids. We've got more seniors lined up over there this year, and we've got to be that way. We've got to have those people that kept carry us here in the early part of the season. We've got John Van. We moved him out to a defensive end that started inside last year. We've got John Hamilton back, the big defensive tackle from last year. We've got a newcomer and Joe Brown lined up at a defensive end. We have Sean Nash at a defensive tackle. We feel like we've got two good linebackers in, is Chris Jones and Clay Davis. Both kids played for us some last year. In the secondary, we've got some people back in Joey Marzullo, Trey Watson, Demetrius Burton. You know, we feel like we've got some people there, and I hope we do, because they're going to have to carry it.
They're going to have to carry the load. Well, Coach, I know it's early in the season, and no coach likes to have those high rankings in the polls at the beginning of the season unless it carries all the way through. But the Ouachita Lions are ranked up there, according to the folks who are supposed to know, at number 2 in the polls that just came out. But you got a tough schedule this year. Let's talk a little bit about that schedule and how you're going to get through it. Opening up tomorrow night against that tough Marshall, Texas team, like you said earlier when we were talking, it was a war last year.
Johnny, it's been a war. We've played them for 3 years, and it's been a war every time. We've talked to our young men about it. We thought that the last 2 years we played them, you know, the first year I'll have to give it to them. You know, I think they got after us well and gave us what we deserved. The last 2 years, I think we've been mighty gracious ourselves. I think we've helped give them a football game, and I hope we don't go into this opening ball game and do that. I don't know if it'll make any difference, because Marshall's an excellent football team with some great skilled people, but we hope we're not going to go in there and give some gifts like we have the last 2 years.
Well, you follow them up with Woodlawn, both first 2 games at home, and it doesn't get any easier. Then you go out of state again, you go over to Provine, Mississippi, and then when you catch Carroll, that's always a war, and you're at their place this year.
That's right. You know, our schedule there's not a weak spot in there anywhere.
Yeah, because you look after Carroll, you got Ruston come over to your place, and then you got West Monroe that's coming over to Lions Stadium. Follow that up with 2 more district games with Neville and Bastrop, and then Wingfield, Mississippi. Well, Coach Valerie, you brought a couple of Ouachita Lions along, a couple of seniors. How about introducing them for us?
Well, Johnny, the first one we have right here is number 25 senior running back for us, and Jermaine Brown. He plays our tailback, and he's a return man, and we also use him as a receiver some. And our other senior is number 77, John Van. Last year he played an inside 2 technique on defense. This year we've moved him to a defensive end. And, John, these are 2 seniors we're expecting a lot out of this year.
Well, Coach, I know that you are, and you had mentioned earlier that you had an outstanding pair of running backs, and you mentioned that Jermaine is one. Jermaine, I know you had a good ball game in the Jamboree last week. Tomorrow night you're going up against a good Marshall, Texas team. What are you expecting from Marshall?
Same thing, a quick defense, got good athletes. Just got to play hard against them.
We're going to be looking for some of that speed tomorrow night.
All right, then.
Some of those good breakaway runs. And over the big guy, John Van, number 77, moved to defensive end. How's that working out for you, John?
A lot better. I'm on the outside. I'm a lot quicker this year, a lot stronger, and hopefully I'll do a better job.
Well, you're right. I remember you from last year. Now, John won't tell me his true height and weight. I know last year he's about 5'7" and 160. But I can tell you he is considerably bigger than that right now, and will anchor that outside on that defensive line. Jermaine, Coach mentioned that you have to do about triple duty. Can you tell us kind of in order what you prefer?
Not really, just whatever they help the team to win. Don't matter where I play as long as I get the ball.
Well, that's what all the great players say. Let me ask you this. When you're back receiving punts and you hear those footsteps coming down, do you notice it, or how do you keep from noticing it, I guess is a better way to ask the question.
They can't touch it. You got 2 yards, so they automatically gonna let you catch the ball. You just gotta be ready for the hit.
Yeah, but they can make you hear them.
Yeah, you can hear them. You just gotta be used to it.
I mean, I know I'd be paralyzed.
Can't play like that.
Oh, I hear you. John, this Marshall, Texas team is tough, as Coach mentioned earlier.
Yes, sir.
They're always powerful. They're always well coached. They made it to the playoffs over in Texas last year. What are you looking for from them on offense?
Their offensive line's really big this year. I think the average weight is 256. And only thing we got to do is just keep them from running and passing on us. I mean, that's all we got to do.
It's just do the job.
Do the job.
Just get the job done. Well, Jermaine, tell us a little bit about how you spent your summer. What have you been doing this summer?
I'm running summer track all summer long. That's about it. I'm going to summer school.
Just staying in shape and hitting those books.
Yeah.
John, about the same?
Yes, sir. I've been weightlifting in summer school, and just like Jermaine, and so all I've been doing is working, too.
Getting ready for the season.
Yes, sir.
Well, folks, you can watch for the Ouachita Lions. They're going to be entertaining Marshall, Texas tomorrow night. Get out to Lions Stadium and see them. And stay with us here on LA25A because we'll be right back.
I often get heartburn after I eat. What does it mean? Just get on the line for health information and physician referral. Medline, easy and convenient. A community service of St. Francis Medical Center. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Medline. My 2-year-old keeps running a fever. What's wrong with him?
Just get on the line for health information and physician referral. Medline, easy and convenient. A community service of St. Francis Medical Center. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Medline.
What makes Joe Bob special?
Steak.
We catfish.
Seafood. And it's just a relaxed atmosphere. Great food. Every time we come, it's fantastic. Never a bad meal.
This is his first time. We want to bring him somewhere special. And so this is one of the most special places we could think of.
It's a good place to come with friends and have a good time and not be in a big crowd. We've got great scenery. It's just a perfect atmosphere.
It's the best steak I've ever had.
Joe Bob's Seafood Restaurant on beautiful Bayou D'Arbonne, West Monroe.
It's great.
Matt's Music, the Arklamis Musical Equipment Headquarters. Sound systems, instruments, and accessories are available at Matt's Music with an experienced sales team available to provide service for the single musician, bands, churches, and schools. For the school band musician, instruments are available for rent or purchase. For the finest sound or instrument selection in the Arklamis, come by Matt's Music.
Bar Studios. Bar Studios. North Louisiana's only production facility specializing in video and audio recording. Video and audio recording. From industrial and corporate videos to television commercials and feature-length programs. Along with a full 16-track audio production studio. For information on how our business can help your business, call Bar Studios. Video and audio recording. Bar Studios.
Well, folks, that's LA25A for tonight. First episode this year of the greatest high school football show in the country. Be sure to be with us next Thursday night, 9 to 10 on Fox 14, when we'll bring you the highlights, the coaches, the players from this week's ball games. Right now, we're going to close out with some music video of the best plays from last year. See you next week.
It's the premiere of Fox NFL Sundays. Join Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Jimmy Johnson, and James Brown for a breakthrough hour of pregame NFL entertainment. Then, Jeff George debuts with the Atlanta Falcons and looks to hook up with Andre Rison, while the Detroit Lions unleash QB Scott Mitchell with human highlight Barry Sanders. Atlanta takes on Detroit, followed by Dallas versus Pittsburgh.
It all begins Sunday at 11 on Fox 14.
All right, fans, here they come. Johnny's fantastic season specials. Johnny's new buffalo wings, tender, juicy, delicious, and spicy Cajun or zesty barbecue, and at game-winning prices. And Johnny's hot, fresh breadsticks, only $1.50. What a catch! Plus Johnny's 14-inch party pizza at $5.99, always a game winner. So make Johnny's part of your game plan every time.
Get it now at Johnny's.
Bar Studios. North Louisiana's largest and most powerful production house is now open and ready to handle your video and audio needs. Industrial and corporate videos, feature-length programs, commercials, music videos, jingles and voiceovers, in field and in studio productions, all under one roof. Bar Studios. It's everything you can imagine.